Good morning, how is it going? So, we're deep into marathon training. This is the end of week 4. I am currently out on my final run of week 4, which is my long run, my longest run to date. I'll tell you a little bit more about that shortly. But I thought this would be an opportunity to give a bit of a training update on how things have gone so far. So if you're new to my channel or videos, welcome. My name's Steve. I'm currently training for the Amsterdam Marathon and then the Valencia Marathon. Amsterdam is in October, 3 weeks time. Valencia is in December, 7th of December, I think. So a little bit more time. My story is that just as I was starting my training for these marathons, tore 2 ligaments in my left ankle while out on my second training run in this block, which put me on the shelf for 2 months. So we are playing a bit of catch up with our training, certainly for the Amsterdam Marathon. So from the start of this rebooted training block, we gave ourselves 7 weeks before Amsterdam, and the issue was when you get injured like that, you obviously can't run, so you lose fitness. You also lose your running endurance, and when you're marathon training, the things that you don't want to lose are your endurance. So after 8 weeks, I was very much starting back from square one. I was umming and ahhing whether to do Amsterdam at all, given the short training block. But I am kind of treating it now as a training run for Valencia. So Amsterdam is going to be a relaxed pace affair, running with 1 or 2 friends who are also doing it. Everyone's got their own aches and pains in the lead up to it. So planning on maybe doing around 4.5 hours for Amsterdam. So training so far has been very challenging. So during my training block, I've had quite a few easy runs. So I'm using Runna to train, as I have done last year for Chicago and Paris marathons. But this time with Runna, I have reined the training intensity right down, which means I'm doing less high intensity runs. So there's a lot more easy runs in my plan, which I find the easy runs I've done within the first 4 weeks, I've done 6 easy runs, and they are generally between 5 and 6 kilometers. And the pace of those on my plan says no faster than 5 minutes 50 per kilometer. I've still got work to do on my slow paces. Most of those runs have been around the 5:40 mark. So I do need to get better at running around 6-minute kilometer paces, which isn't something I'm used to. So you kind of get into a natural rhythm when you run. And mine is at around, when I'm going out for a relaxed, it's more kind of around maybe 5:15 to 5:30. So work to do there, but they've been okay. They've been fairly uneventful, quite boring, pretty much do the same route every time I do them. So yeah, that has been the easy runs. One of the other types of runs that have been in my plan are interval and tempo runs. And because I've wound the intensity of the plan down, as I said earlier, I only have one of those every other week. So far in my plan, I've done 2 of those. They've both been kind of similar. One was a tempo run that was kind of under and over kilometers. I think the target pace was around 4:40 for the push kilometers, and then about 5:25 for the slow down kilometers. And that was, I think there was 3 sets of those, so 6k under and over. That was okay. It was the first time that I'd kind of pushed the pace in 2 and a bit months. So I was definitely feeling the impact after that session. The second one was last week. That was regarded as an interval session, and I did this as part of parkrun. So that was about an 8k run in total, 2k warm up, and then it was running kilometre and then 90 seconds rest, and the pace for the kilometre was about 4:30 per kilometre. That was a really tough session, but I was pleased that I was getting around between 4:30, 4:20 average pace, so that was great. So my confidence has been building as the plan has gone on. I'm thinking about my ankle less, which is good. Next, tell you a bit about the long runs. So the long runs, these have been the hardest runs of the week, even if they are at a comfortable pace. As I said earlier, you lose endurance when you are injured. Trying to get that endurance back in a quick space of time is hard. So the first week was 16k, which is what I told the plan. I had a degree of confidence that I would be able to do. So I did that with what I used to do, which is, I find, and that's what I'm doing today, and I'll tell you a bit more about today's in a bit, but it's trying to incorporate the weekly long run into a park run. So that 16k, I knew it was going to be hard, but I knew as the going got tough, if I could join a park run for the final 5k, it would help me push through. And that's exactly what happened. So did 11k warm up, then did Victoria Park run in Leicester, albeit at a very relaxed pace, but that's what got me through on that distance. The next week it bumped up to 20k, so the runs are bumping up quite a lot a week, and that was a progression run. That has been the hardest run of my plan so far. So it was about 10k at a comfortable pace, and then it was 3.5k at about 5:45, 3.5k at about 5:30, and then the final 3k at around 5:20, 5:25 pace. And I found that really hard. I didn't do that as part of a park run, so that was just me running after work on my own, doing a big old loop. I didn't help myself because I gave myself a route that had quite a bit of elevation on it, but we got it done. Week 3 was a delayed week, so the long run that week was just 11k comfortable, which was kind of fine. And that brings me to today. So today I'm doing, right now, 25 kilometre long run. And what I'm doing is I got up bright and early. I arrived at Watermead Country Park in Leicester, which is one of my local park runs. But I'm not doing Watermead Country Park today. I parked there. It is about a 10k run to another one of the Leicester park runs, Abbey Park. So that is what I'm doing now. So I'm running to Abbey Park, trying to get a pace of around 6 minutes per kilometre. I'm slightly ahead of that at the moment, so I need to slow down a bit. Then I get there, do the park run. During the park run, once I hit 12k for the morning run, my pace will increase. So I think it's around 5:30, 5:25, something like that. And then the final 12k or 13k is run at that faster speed. So after the park run, I run back to Watermead, where my car is. Hopefully, if it's all gone well, treat myself to a nice coffee, and that will be the end of week 4. The other thing I've done, one of my lesser spoken about hobbies, is that I used to do CrossFit. I don't do CrossFit anymore, but I really enjoyed discipline of Olympic weightlifting. So I've started going back to my Olympic weightlifting classes. So I'm about 3 weeks back into those classes. So I do 2 classes now. I do 1 Olympic weightlifting and 1 strength and conditioning a week, which has been really good, because I think one of the things most of us are guilty of as runners, is forgetting about that strength and conditioning. So to do it as part of a class is really good. So I've been enjoying that. My form and technique on the Olympic weightlifting has been going all right. So that's good. But that is where we are at. There is a meetup today at Abbey Park Parkrun of the Parkrun Tourism group on Facebook and other platforms, of which I am a member of that group. When I do my Parkrun Tourism videos, I post them to that group, so I don't particularly know anyone in that group, but I feel very much part of the community. So that was one of the motivations today of coming to Abbey Park, to get involved in that. And yeah, so we'll catch up at the end, tell you how the run has ended up. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers. Busy Abbey Park Parkrun is done. Don't know what our time for Parkrun was. We are 14.6k into the morning run. Just over 10k left to go. Feeling okay at the moment. Hoping not to stop for too long. There was a barcode scanner. Wicked. Morning.
Morning.
Barcode is scanned. Thought I'd be in a bit of a queue. But I wasn't. So, right, back to where we came from. I need to put the map on because the route back is slightly different to the route here. Right, okay. 10 bit K left to do. Let's go. All right, so we are in the last 80 metres of our 25k morning run. It's gone well. I'm not going to complain about it. Our form and pace has broken down significantly in the last 5k. Not quite sure what it is, but it's probably close to 6 minutes per kilometre, if not more. But yeah, as I say, these aren't meant to be easy. They're meant to be hard. There goes my watch beeping. And the workout was completed in, according to this, 2 hours 23 minutes. Oh dear. So I'm just going to plonk myself down on a bench, because there is a bench as I'm finishing, which is nice. So that is the end of week 4. Oh my god. Longest run I've done since October last year, I think. Chicago Marathon. Definitely the hardest run I've done since Chicago. Yeah, first 20k today felt pretty good. Final 5k sucked, but we got the distance done, which is the most important thing. We're not going for pace in Amsterdam, so even though some of our runs do have pace targets, I'm not feeling beholden to them. For me, it's more about getting the time and distance in the legs in a lead up to Amsterdam. Pleased to get that done. Quack, quack. So yeah, interesting one this morning. Started and ended at Watermead Park, running to Abbey Park, doing the park run there. I think it was probably a record there this morning. I've never seen it personally as busy as that, which was great. My time in parkrun, I think, was around 26.5 minutes. My result came through on my watch as I was just finishing up the final kilometre of my long run. So, yeah, back home now to enjoy the rest of my Saturday. Do some recovery stuff. I've got a video coming up soon all about recovery and what I do for recovery and some of the things that I use. So if that's of interest to you, like this video and subscribe to my channel. Next week we have got the longest run of the marathon block, 32k. The first part of the marathon block, the run up to Amsterdam. So we are going to Sherwood Pines to do one of the Rasselbach running events. It is a 6-hour looped event. It's not a backyard ultra. It's kind of similar to that vibe, but you don't start on the hour every hour. You just do as many loops as you feel like in 6 hours. So I'm targeting 6 loops, I think, which will be slightly over 32k. So I will probably stop at 32k and have a nice walk for the rest of it. So that is next week. And then we are tapering down to Amsterdam. So yeah, that's it for this video. That's the first 4 weeks coming back. Good thing today was, didn't feel the ankle. Have I bitten off a little bit more than I can chew? I don't think so. Has it been an ideal length of time to be training for a marathon? No. But we did it 2 years ago in 7 weeks, so we're doing that again. So that's it. I'm going to stop rambling because I've probably rambled a lot. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and it's goodbye from the ducks and the geese and whatever else is here, the herons, and it's goodbye from me. See you later.